Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. This is Rosette 2020. Okay, so I'm in my beautiful studio. Let's talk about the police, the cops who um, participated in the murder of George Floyd. So, what's crazy is okay, so for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, um, Derek Chauvin had his knee on, George's neck, okay? So there's, three other cops that got indicted, or not indicted, but they got arrested. The crazy thing is, excuse me, sorry, it's really late. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The crazy thing is that two of the cops, Kong and Lang, Kong, it was his third shift. Lang, it was his fourth day. Now, can you imagine you're a free person, okay? You decide to join the force. You go through all of the rigmarole as far as, applying, taking the exam, going through the interviews, the background check. You have to practice on the gun. I was going to be a cop for San Francisco. I couldn't pull the trigger, so I got kicked out. This was like 25 years ago. Anyway, so you go from a free person, you go through the hiring process, then you go to the police academy, which if you saw my other videos, you saw where I said, well, okay, where in the academy, what week does it tell you to put your knee on someone's neck? Like where? Okay, what week? What book? Because I would like to know. Anyway, go through the academy, you graduate, you're on the beat. You go from the beat, the first week, I'm going to say the first week that you start, this happens. And the man directs you, who has 20 years experience, directs you to sit on this person. Okay? This is your first week. All right? Now, this kind of happened to me because I was like a caretaker or something like that. And someone told me how to restrain, someone. And it was wrong. And I got fired. And I'm like, but this is what I was trained. How are you going to fire me if I was trained to do this by someone, agent of your facility? Whatever. Anyway, whatever. So I'm not advocating for them. I'm just saying, can you imagine on your first week this is happening? So on your first week, this happens, you get fired, and then a couple of weeks later, you're in jail. You're in jail, about to do time for something that you didn't even know that this man had told you. Can you imagine? I'm not advocating it, but I'm just looking at the timeline. Your first week. You better ask questions. That's why when I'm in training, when I'm on a job, this one lady, Kathy, I'm not going to say we worked. She said, when you're in training, and I learned this was 20 years ago, she said, take notes. Because in those notes, you need to write down everything that they tell you to do. And so when you do it during training, you know how you go through a week of training, whatever, take good notes. Because if you do that and you get reprimanded for it, say, you can't reprimand me for this because this is what you trained me, how you trained me to do. So you can't fire me for something that you trained me to do. Now, these police officers weren't trained, but they were told by Derek to do it. So I think he should get more time. Because I don't know what you call it. I don't know if it's premeditated. I'm telling you, there's something else that happened. And that's where the legal team has got to figure this out. There was some type of animosity between Derek and George. in the club or something. I don't know if they wanted the same woman or if Derek was jealous of him because, he was a very handsome guy. He's tall, dark, big, not big, but he was definitely bigger than Derek. And people have issues, underlying issues. If you're better looking than someone, if you're taller, for women, if you have bigger boobs, if you have bigger breasts, if you have, bigger butt, but smaller waistline, better wigs, better makeup, whatever, better car, better husband, better job, better kids. With men, better cars, more money, more women. Think about it. There was something outside of that $20 bill. And listen, if you know somebody and you're going to arrest him over $20 and kill them, and you know the man, come on now. Y'all work together. You don't do all that to somebody that that you're a co-worker for 17 years. No, you guys, there was something else underlying. And that's where the prosecuting attorney, whoever it is, you guys have to find out, because there's a story. There's a reason why his co-worker killed him. It was first degree premeditated. Once you guys find out that story as to why that man has so much animosity to kill his co-worker of 17 years, that's your case. And it's premeditated. It's not a second degree murder. That was premeditated. That man hated him. Whether he hated him for, he got paid more, he had more women, his penis was bigger, he was taller, they said something to each other, maybe George had, more friends, he was more popular, they screwed the same woman, something. There was something that went on. But can you imagine the two guys, their first week, and this fool tells them, no, sit on him. This is how you do it. This is how it's done. So, see, he trained the cops to kill them. I don't know what you call that. Instructed assassination? I don't know the legal terms. I don't know the legalese of this. But it was wrong. That man wanted him dead. Over $20 that they don't even know if it was a counterfeit or not. $20. You're going to kill a man like that over $20, and it wasn't even your $20. So what if he did have, a counterfeit? That's what you do? Is that the punishment? To kill someone in broad daylight and keep your knee on his neck for 8 minutes? This is an open and shut case. I don't understand where the insecurities that this case may not all go through. That man premeditated that. Like the defense or the offensive attorney or whatever, I don't know. You guys have to find out what was their relationship before this happened, and I guarantee you there's malice. He did that in malice. He wanted that man dead. You could see how he had his hands in his pocket. There's no way in hell. That's not, well, maybe it is, because I think in the state of Minnesota, that is legal. That is one of the protocols on how you keep a man down or something, because he wasn't resisting arrest. On the video, there's nowhere that it shows that he was resisting arrest. Now, why did they walk him across the street? Why couldn't they have pulled the car around? Like usually, I live in a downtown area, and I see a lot of police action. The cops pull the police cars. They will block off the street. They will have 20 cars blocked off. Why did they have to walk that man down the street, and then there was a car that covered the scene. I think they were beating him up or jacking him up. Something happened. And you know what? The fact that that man, Derek, put his knee to his neck, something wasn't right. You don't have to walk a person down the street. The police car is usually right in front. The police car should have been right in front. Why did they have to walk up? What was said? What's on those police cams? And why is it not available for us to see? Those police cams, that's what we need to see. Listen, make sure that you guys find out from people at the club that they worked at in the city. You need to find out what was the relationship between them, and there's your case. That's your case. Okay, gotta go.